Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to WizdomDropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. My name is Tonya, and today we are talking about the 4 major headlines of what is going on this eclipse happening June 5th, 2020, which will, because it is the first eclipse of a larger 1.5 year cycle, be influencing 1.5 years of your life, okay? If you did not see the video that I just did highlighting these 4 main things that we are going to dive into an interpretation of in this video, please do check that out. It came right before this on the WizdomDropz page, so check it out, check it out, check it out. Moving right along, let's cruise through these. The first and biggest thing is that, as I said, it's going to be marking this entire 1.5 year phase. Okay, what does that mean? Whatever we're experiencing now, it's going to be coming back again and again and again and again. Moving on, number 2, okay, Mars, as I said in the first vid that I did on this, is squaring the eclipse, which you've been hearing a lot of astrologers talk about, okay, fairly so. Now, why is that interesting? Because Mars is currently transiting Pisces. And why is that interesting? Good question, because this leads us to kind of one of the major headlines, that in fact the ruler of Pisces is Jupiter. Where is Jupiter right now in the heavens, y'all? Jupiter's currently in Capricorn, conjuncting what planet? What god of fate and karma and transformation and death? Okay, Pluto. That's right, Pluto. So Jupiter and Pluto are like this right now, like all up in the Capricorn, okay? And Jupiter, seeing as that is the ruler of the sign of Pisces, and this is where Mars is currently transiting, it tells us more about Mars's experience in that sign of Pisces. You see what I'm saying? So moving along, what do we gather from that? What do we take away from that? Jupiter is the planet, okay, of belief. Jupiter is the planet of higher consciousness and moral, what is right. It's a moral compass kind of planet, okay? Jupiter is very auspicious, okay? It's the higher benefic. It's like Santa Claus plus. It's like a guru, but like a real one, not like an ego crazy one, okay? So anyway, when Jupiter is in Capricorn, though, it don't like it. It's not its home. Jupiter, in Capricorn, it's like antithetical to Jupiter's nature. Saturn is cold and dry. Jupiter is wet and warm, it's opposite, okay? It don't like it in Capricorn. Plus, it's on top of Pluto. But with that said, Jupiter's still Jupiter. Doom, boom, boom. That's a fact. So whether or not Jupiter likes being in Capricorn, he's still Jupiter. Does that take away his power? Hell no, it don't take away his power. It maybe takes away his joy. It maybe takes away a little bit of that, a little bit of how he expresses himself. But the fact that he's in, the sign of Capricorn, that's systems, that's governments, okay? Conjunct Pluto, that's the great transformation, the great decline and regeneration that you've been hearing about in the conscious circuits, on the interwebs. And that's just what it is. It's the fact of the matter. So we have this systematic collapse and rebirth, and it's almost like this scorpionic phoenix-like energy happening in our systems, in our governments, in our society, because Capricorn rules each and every one of those things. It's the gatekeeper, okay? But we need to keep this movement, so I'm going to move forward. Now, at the same time, we also have Venus over here in direct opposition to this eclipse, okay? Now, isn't that interesting? I have heard a lot less of astrologers even talking about that, and I don't know why, because it's hella relevant. Why is that relevant? Because Venus is currently, as you may already know, in Gemini, okay? Over there chilling with the sun. It just went Kazemi, like literally 2 days before this eclipse. Holla! Because that means that the Venus is actually rebirthed, renewed, refreshed, revamped, and she has purified all the shit off of her. It's literally just like if you were like so dirty and gnarly and stinky, and then you just go and take a shower, it's like coming out of that shower when Venus comes out of Kazemi, aka conjunction with the sun, okay? Any planet when they go through Kazemi with the sun. But Venus just got reborn, and she's about to pop into the world as a morning star, like warrior princess style, because she's going to be rising in the morning sky after being invisible for 2 whole months. So right now in these 2 weeks periods of June, in this like almost like slumberous, like dark eclipse phase of psychological reprogramming, Venus has been rebirthed by this purification with the sun. However, she is not visible yet in the sky, and in 2 weeks time, in mid-June, she's going to be rising in the sky, visible as a morning star. That's like very powerful, like Athena, Xena warrior princess energy. That's like all the divine feminine energy will be elevated. All the women will be feeling this within 2 weeks time. Right now, many of us are feeling introverted, like we need to just rest, relax, decompress, like a balloon that's been popped that just needs to go, that's where we're at. And that's fine. If that's where you're at, even if you're a man and you have a lot of feminine energy, or you're just in tune with your feminine energy, listen to that, because that's where the heavens are currently at, and it's what is currently being encouraged of us to do if you want to interpret the heavens, okay? Now, moving forward, why is this significant? Because as I said earlier, Venus is in Gemini, opposite, okay? And anytime you have an opposition, that is a more psychological aspect, whereas you have a more 90-degree aspect being a manifesting degree. Whenever you have that in the ancient symbology, whenever you had a 90-degree, it was always an area of like manifestation, leveling up, coming into, you know, clear, actual third dimensional, you know, tangibility and accomplishment and achievement and attainment and actualization is the word I'm really looking for there. But with that said, this opposition aspect of Venus opposite this moon, okay, during this eclipse over here in Sagittarius, what that's saying is it's a very psychological thing, and it's related to what's going on in our collective ownership of our values, okay, and our value as a collective. Why? Because Venus is currently, as I said, in Gemini. Now the ruler of Gemini is what? What is the ruler of Gemini? What is it? I know you know, what is it? Mercury, that's right. Where is Mercury? Mercury's currently at 9 degrees of Cancer. That's right, Cancer, which is all about home, nurturing, mothership, protecting the land, guardianship, defending what is yours. Stewardship is Cancer energy. Cancer energy is home energy in the defense of home. It's very much so like a United States associated energy. It's also very much so associated with like police officers who are actually there to defend some shit that counts, and like military. You know, we could talk a lot about the flaws, but that's what I'm actually talking about from the different perspective, is that the collective is owning this understanding of our own Cancerian energy. We are owning our collective value, and we the people are defending ourselves because it is Mercury. Mercury is symbolic of brothers and sisters and people you know, friends, neighbors, siblings, so forth and so on. And Mercury, as I said earlier, rules the sign of Gemini, which is where Venus currently is. And mind you, you will not hear most astrologers tell you this, but check it, Venus is beyond love. Even though we can definitely draw some correlations between what's happening, we can sew those lines, we can seam that connection, right, between what's happening in society and what's happening with Venus in Gemini. But at the same time, what I really want to draw your attention to with that is that Venus, you will not hear this from other astrologers most of the time, is the built environment. It's the built environment around you. Venus rules what is exterior. That's why in a low vibration, Libra is superficial AF, because that is Venusian. Venusian things are, yes, beautiful, but they are also tangible and of a third dimensional nature. Therefore, the earth is also associated with Venus. So Venus is very symbolic of the energies at any given time that are happening on planet Earth. That also is, there's a correlation with the cycle of Venus, which I don't have time to like go into, and honestly could do more research on, but I know there's like a very special connection between Venus and Earth with their transits and their, how they line up. You know how Venus is a star when it moves around in its larger cycle? Anyway, I digress, because the point of this was to get you thinking about what's going on right now with the times, with the eclipses, etc., etc. And what I want to just close out with before you leave this channel, leave this, you know, device that you're listening on in this conversation that we're having, is that this eclipse is bringing in new energy for you. This eclipse is literally a 1.5 year reset. So if you have intentions, if you have things that you've been meaning to work on, very much so it's likely that they are manifesting, because this Mars energy is a square aspect, and as I said earlier, it's a manifesting aspect. The Venusian opposition is psychological, meaning that we're owning our worth, and we're owning our worth of the collective value of home, the collective value of stewardship of each other in this land. That's all that Mercury and Cancer connection, okay? And so I think we're really seeing a reclaiming of our moral ownership. That's how I feel this whole cycle is going to play out over the next 1.5 years. And it's echoed in what's happening systematically and systemically with Capricorn, okay, and the great decline, so that we can rebuild. So with that said, my friend, if you want a reading, check it out, WizdomDropz@gmail.com. And if you are subscribed already, awesome. If you need to be subscribed because you're not, why aren't you subscribed yet? You need to subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. And with that said, my friend, until next time and through next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.